Good Monday morning to you. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you have a better week. I hope you have a fruitful week, a productive week. If you have any prayer requests, please leave a comment in this video. And if you need to reach out to me privately, send me a message. I'll be glad to pray for you. So last time we met, we talked about Colossians 4:2, which says, devote yourselves to prayer, stay alert in it with thanksgiving. I want to come back and just begin with the point I want to make on this Monday as we look at prayer this week. First of all, there is a call to devotion. A call to devotion. Paul says, devote yourselves. The New King James has something like this. It says, continue earnestly in prayer. Continue earnestly in prayer. Whatever translation you have, there is this call for the believer to persevere in prayer, to not give up. And a lot of us quit praying short of where we need to. Story goes of George Mueller, a great saint of yesterday in the 1900s or the 19th century, 1800s. He was a great man. You ought to read his biography or his autobiography if you've never done that. He was a man of prayer. God used him in a mighty way. It was said of him, and I don't know if it's true, I've just heard the story, that he had a prayer list for his friends who were not saved or people he knew, and every one of them, I believe, except for 4, became saved. Every one of them became Christians after his death, if I remember that story correctly. So what I really want you to understand as a believer is don't quit praying. Devote yourselves to prayer. That is the heart of a believer, that we cry out to God. This past Sunday, I was privileged to preach at Gregory Baptist Church, and we looked at the passage in 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 12. And I think I'll do a devotion on this in the next week or two. I'll just take that sermon and put it into bite-sized pieces for you to listen to. But the last part of that, King Jehoshaphat's in a prayer, 5 through 13, the odds are against him. And the line that stuck out to me as I was memorizing it was, we don't know what to do, but we look to you. And friends, that is the heart of a believer. That is what churches, that's what Christians ought to do. We ought to devote ourselves to prayer. And think about all the things we do to waste time, to drain our energy. Instead of praying, we could do all sorts of things. So this week, I really want to challenge you to devote yourself to prayer. And I want you to think about what it means to be devoted to prayer, how that looks in your life. Have a great Monday. We'll get back together on Tuesday and continue to look at this powerful verse that teaches us how to live life at God's pace. And there is no other way to live. Have a great Monday.